Alrighty then. Hey, this is Ventus yet again, and I have kind of a big announcement for the channel. You may notice from probably reading the title, or if you look at my channel, at the channel artwork or anything like that, my channel isn't actually labeled as Ventus anymore. It's actually changed to Megalovaniac. Now, there's a reason why I changed it, and I'll be going over that in this video. The main reason I wanted to make this video, though, is just to let you guys know, hey, if you see something as Megalovaniac, it's still me, and you're confused where it's from, now you know who it is. So, now that that's out of the way, I just wanted to go over why I did this and what my thought process behind it was. First of all, I have been considering this for a few months, that this wasn't something that just came out of nowhere and decided, you know what, I'm just going to change my username that I've had for like 5 years. No, did not do that without thinking it through first. You see, for a while now, I've been thinking about getting a new username, primarily because, well, there are two main problems I have with Ventus. First of all, I still go by Ventus. Most people call me Ven all the time. But, it kind of got obnoxious for one thing. I hated correcting people saying, no, it's not pronounced Ventus, it's pronounced Ventus. And I felt like such a dick every time I said that. It was really, really annoying to have to do. Like, I felt terrible every time. So, I decided I was kind of getting annoyed with always saying Ventus. It felt like I was being very pretentious by having a weirdly pronounced name, if that makes any sense. The other reason is largely because the name Ventus, or Ventus, is actually really, really common, both on YouTube and across the internet, mostly because there's a Kingdom Hearts character with that name. And being a Kingdom Hearts fan, I've been aware of that for a long time. In fact, if I recall correctly, the character in Kingdom Hearts came out about, I don't know, I want to say it was only a month or so after I started going by Ventus. Either way, that's not important. What I'm meaning to say is I decided to change it largely because the name is so common, and it kind of sucks to have, if someone were to ever hear about my channel and were to type it in and look it up, my channel is going to be buried under hundreds of Kingdom Hearts videos or other people with the username Ventus. So yeah, I decided I needed something a bit more distinct. That's what led me to try it. And I ended up coming up with something around the time that Overwatch came out. I came up with Megalovaniac because, well, about 6 months prior, I had played through, Undertale, of course. And there's a song in that called Megalovania. Great song, by the way. But, I ended up really liking it, and I realized, Megalovania, maybe I could go by Megalovaniac. Tried out in Overwatch for a while. I got a lot of compliments on my username there. Just every once in a while, some people would recognize the reference. Some people would just say it was a good username to have. And I realized it was actually incredibly distinct. That's when I started considering it for my channel. But it wasn't until about, actually I think it was yesterday, that I fully decided to swap. I did a little test to see really how common it was, because I think there's like another YouTube channel out there maybe labeled as Megalovaniac, but it hasn't been active in a long time, and it had about 2 subscribers when I last checked. And it is used in a few places. Like, I know there's a Twitch channel with Megalovaniac, but it again doesn't actually stream. It seems like people are kind of like, Undertale was a really popular game. Megalovania was largely a lot of people's favorite song in that. So it kind of translates that Megalovaniac is going to be a username that some people will take. However, from my research, it seemed like I could only really find like one username similar to it on any websites. And my big test for what it was, or just see how common it was, I ended up trying to swap to it in League of Legends, which, as many of you know, is one of, if not the most popular game of all time. Swapped to it with no problem, spelled it exactly as I expected to. Basically, it wasn't taken in that, which really was surprising to me. I expected that to be taken, of all places for it to be taken, I would expect it to be taken in a huge game like that, where you can only have one of each name. So that was my big wake-up call when I swapped to that. Well, not so much wake-up call, but my kind of aha moment of, this name isn't really that common. I hesitated to swap to it largely because I thought it might be common, similar to my old username of Ventus. So yeah, after I saw that, I decided, maybe I could just brand that as my name or my username that people know me by. It's a lot more distinct. It references something that I'm a big fan of, and I don't know. I think it's something that'll work for me. And one thing I do want to point out is that this might not work out. It might be a username that turns out, like, say, someone else gets the username and ends up massively shooting up in popularity, and I don't want to try to ride off of their success or something like that. So I could end up swapping it in the future if someone else ends up taking it and using it for their own purposes, which I wouldn't be mad about. I'd just figure something else out. But yeah, I'm basically looking to have a name that's more distinct. So if someone else ends up using that as their distinct username, I'll back off. But for now, though, it seems I'm the highest rated person or the most subscribed person on YouTube with the username, so I guess I'll stick with it for now. I'd like to stick with it permanently, ideally, but we'll see how things go. Either way, long story short, from here on out, the channel of Ventus will be known as Megalovaniac, and I will be introducing my videos as such. Also, I should note that, like I said, everyone still calls me Ven. That's not going to change. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for listening to all this. Sorry about the sudden swap, but yeah, I'll see you guys next time.